Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Brady's Patriots going up against Ryan's Falcons. With that, let's send you to Atlanta now, where Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis are on the call.
Thank you very much, Larry. You are looking live at the Georgia Dome here in downtown Atlanta. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the New England Patriots and the Atlanta Falcons. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Brady now on first down. The throw left side, complete to Hogan. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Falcons did a pretty good job of containing Hogan. 4 catches, 57 yards. Of course, that was coming off a 180-yard performance in the AFC title game.
I wonder if that thigh injury he had going into the game hampered him at all, maybe a little bit. But I know this, trying to get away from the Falcons' coverage was difficult for the New England receivers throughout most of the game. But since New England accumulated a lot of plays on offense, I think they wore them down a little bit.
Let's discuss this offense now, and Julian Edelman, very good player.
Has really developed into a terrific slot receiver, and a lot of times he would be the primary receiver. Still mad coming out of college that he's now the quarterback in the NFL. He takes it out on the opposing defenses.
Brady. Over the middle, Julian Edelman, it's complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And as we show you the starters defensively for Atlanta, I want to ask you about that Super Bowl. It's such an interesting game, but defensively Atlanta so good in that first half. What happened in the fourth quarter, and how will you remember them from this game?
I remember a really young defensive unit that the stage wasn't too big. They handled it right from the beginning. I remember a really fast defensive unit. Look at the speed. Grady Jarrett. Defensive line, right? What do you have, 3 sacks in the game? Deion Jones from his middle linebacker position forced that fumble against LeGarrette Blount. Robert Alford as a cornerback, double-digit tackles, now a lot of passes broken up. The pick 6 for a touchdown, 82 yards, a fumble recovery. But they were out there way too long. 93 plays given up to New England. At some point, you've got to get a stop and get off the field.
Brady now on first down. Oh, this is going to be caught along the sidelines. Probably shouldn't have been caught. He's going to lose yardage there. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Brady to throw again. He's going to rifle one deep left side. It's caught at the 10. A big play there for the Patriots. 38 yards.
Not the tallest receiver on the field, but he just shouted to admit that the little guy can't go downfield and make a big-time catch on a deep pass, because sometimes they'll just out-scrap you for the football.
Now Brady again. That's complete right around the 8. A gain of 6 there on first.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. It's a big loss of 5 there on second down to bring up 3rd and goal. Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's 3rd and goal. Throwing now is Brady. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And Gostkowski's kick is good. But there is a penalty marker down. They might be forced to try this one again. So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Now Brady. And caught by Hogan for a Patriot touchdown. Chris Hogan, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Pats have taken the early lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
And his kick is right through. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. 11 carries, 75 yards for Freeman in the game against New England. But remember, a lot of those came on the first carry. He had a good second carry, but then they didn't use him a lot late.
Yeah, I saw them getting to the perimeter early. You see how they stretched out New England's big defensive line? And then as they substitute, they started to try and go back inside. But a lot of people think maybe they didn't run the ball enough in the Super Bowl and maybe even eat some clock, especially with the lead that they had. But they also were able to use Devontae Freeman in the passing game. Remember, late, up 28-20, faked it to him inside, then threw it to the flat. They got a big play that way as well.
It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They run. Devontae Freeman. Here come the Patriots again on offense, the Super Bowl champions, and boy, they have been able to do it a lot of times, Charles, with unsung heroes, haven't they? Look at the names that led them through the playoffs. Hogan, White, Lewis, guys you just wouldn't think of.
Yeah, Deion Lewis, a 5th-round pick, 3 touchdowns against Houston in the divisional round. Chris Hogan, undrafted. He ends up having 180 yards in receptions, including 5 plays of 20 yards or more against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And how about James White, a 4th-round pick out of Wisconsin? Think about who he played behind while he was at Wisconsin, and he turns out to be the unsung hero of the Super Bowl. Would have been the MVP if it wasn't for Tom Brady.
And you mentioned James White at Wisconsin. He was behind who? Melvin Gordon and Monte Ball, right?
That's correct.
Brady to throw on 2nd down. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And open here is Hogan. He's got it. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And the first play will be a field goal try. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the lead moves to 10-zip. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now the possession will switch over to the Atlanta Falcons. And this offense so good for 3 quarters of the Super Bowl, Charles. At one point, the advanced metrics had them at a 99.5% chance to win. It just seemed like everything was going their way, and then the 4th quarter happened.
I think when we review this game, and we say, okay, where did it get away from the Falcons? What was the number of plays the Patriots ended up running for the game?
93.
And the Falcons ran 46. So they wore down their defense on that one. But look at what they did on offense. They were averaging big-time yardage, running it, passing it, had everything going their way. A 25-point lead should still be enough to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, almost 6 yards per rush, almost 9 yards per pass for the Falcons. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. He's going to take another shot here. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield.
And got his man complete. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Alan Branch with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Now Ryan on 2nd down. He's going to look deep, looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. It's Matt Ryan, picked off by Logan Ryan. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is.
He's got a man, complete. That one goes for 34 yards. And it'll be 1st down, New England.
Most receivers love running the post pattern. You go downfield as fast as you can, give a head fake or two, and then you head towards the post in the middle of the field and look for the football. A tough route to cover if you get fooled with a little bit of fake in the middle of it.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Again, they'll throw with Brady. To the left side and complete for Julian Edelman. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second. So the defense gets to the quarterback. Now the offense backed up on second down. To throw, it's Brady. Over the middle, that's caught by Hogan. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on third. Brady now to throw. And that's caught. It's Hogan. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. So on fourth down, Brady will yield to Gostkowski for the field goal try. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So they were able to move the ball into the red zone, but they'll wind up coming away with just 3.
Yeah, 32-yarder. That's equal to an extra point nowadays, and those are no problem for an NFL kicker.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
I want to sneak in a note here on the officials while time permits from the Super Bowl game. I know that you had high praise of them. Really, you know they did a good job when no one is talking about them on Monday.
You're exactly right. And, in fact, they're being praised.
And that's caught inside the 30. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 48 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just...
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. It's Matt Ryan, picked off by Logan Ryan. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking.
And this throw will be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
On second down, Freeman. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. And a new set of downs here after picking up. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
Second and goal from the 2-yard line. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
Here's Ryan. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And the kick for the 41-year-old is up and good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So a field goal here. They're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
Now Dion Lewis to return. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Danny Amendola, the man he was trying to get it to. That'll bring up second down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Brady again here on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with 1 complete. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for